All right, so Hoopty Doodle has picked up a 3-in-1 sheet metal tool. So it rolls metal, which is cool for making like tunnels and other things like that. It also cuts the metal, shears it, and it also will break or bend the metal. So here's the 3-in-1, it's hanging out here, and we're ready to put the legs on it. So I'm gonna go ahead and try and fit the legs on here. The press, or the 3-in-1 itself has these little holes drilled already in each corner right here. And these are exactly 5/16 bolt here I'm using. Oh, that's kind of a problem. All right, so I got this guy down again, and basically I gotta take this plate here, this sort of bottom sill thing off. There's a bolt right there that holds it on, and another bolt
over here.
A little Allen head bolt, the big one there. So now we've got these screws right here. There are adjustment things for that slide up there that we just took out. So now these got to come out. There's 3. Now I need to measure so I can cut some support beams for these guys. So 1 foot. All right, I've now taken that down, disassembled the legs, and moved them over to here to be welded up. Well, now it's painted and we can go ahead and assemble everything. And now is a good time to tell you my favorite part about this thing. Both ends of the pipe here are threaded. This end is threaded for the wheels to go on, and the other end is threaded to be bolted on to the 3-in-1 itself. Hi, Cat. Cat, what are you doing? It's a good day. It is assembly day. The work is done now. Whoa, dude. The work is done, and now it's time to have some fun and put it together and admire our work. Admire all of our hard work and just enjoy it. I can just go ahead and thread these guys on here. Got to back it up here a little bit because I got to put some grease on these threads here because to prep those nuts on there that are on the inside of the pipe for welding, I stripped all the zinc off of that. So that's just bare steel in there, and I don't want these things to seize up at any point in the future. So just for future maintenance reasons, we're putting some grease on there, and hopefully this thing will have a nice long life. All right, wheels are all on, and just take a look at these things, man. Look at the quality of this work. Just unbelievable. Ah, keep welding and keep getting better at it. I'm so thrilled by this. All right, enough shenanigans. Let's get this thing going here. Rolling, rolling. So now, how stable is this thing? It seems pretty stable. Let's take it off the list here. It's free! It's free! Look at that. It rolls pretty good. It's nice and stable, dude. Nice. Alright. So that's it, man. We just gotta put this, put that back on here, and it's good. And it's at this point that I start to go down the rabbit hole. My original intent was just to make the stand for this thing, but now that I've got the stand, I want to be able to use this thing, and in order to do that, there are a few more details that I need to address. Look at that. Good as new. I'm just putting a bunch of grease on here. You can use like heavy oil and stuff too, heavyweight oil. But I'm just putting grease on here to get this thing, because it was all rusty. Trying to restore the metal to a degree. I previously had put on a bunch of, like before when I first got it, it was like way rustier. I did a round of wire brushing on it to take off as much of the rust as I could, and then it's been soaking with penetrating oil since. And then I've just wire brushed it again. And a lot of the rust has come off, and you can now start to appreciate the metal again on this thing. So now I'm just gonna go ahead and put this grease on here, and then basically this is it. I'm just gonna leave it like this. I'll probably wipe this off later on when I go to use it again or whatever, but it'll have a nice layer of oil, petroleum-based stuff on here to help protect the metal. All right, then I've also got a bolt that's snapped off, like right here. You can see it right there. There's access to it on the back side. Right there's access to it on the back side. There we go. It's coming out. It's coming out. This is a victory. This is my victory for the day, man. Sweet. Now we can go to the store, get a new bolt, and this thing is so much better than it used to be. There it is, compared to the unclean piece. A lot better than it was, man. Alright, so we got a grease fitting right here, and you know we got to put some grease in that. Got my little grease gun. There's another down here. Alright, so there's supposed to be two of these on the 3-in-1. One of them was busted off. That's the one that we removed with the screw extractor. To replace that, I've got these guys here. I'm still going to use this one, and on the other side I'm just going to put this guy on there. This is a it's an M8 metric, that guy. And then we've got a couple of these. There's a little handle on the side, and there's 2 bolts that are supposed to go through here, and that's these guys. The other one was missing one, and this one is looking pretty sad, so it's starting to like rust away. All right, so I'm going to be smart about this. I'm going to put one of these on first, then we're going to do the handle, because otherwise I need like 3 hands to do this. All right, there, it started. I can swing it out of the way, stick this guy up in here. Aha, look at that. All right, now we can do the other one. Stick that in there. And we'll tighten them down a little bit. I'm gonna go ahead and tap these threads out, make sure that they're in good shape. All right, so I think it's a little rusty inside here. I'm gonna try and clean that out by running a tap through there. This is an M6 by 1 thread tap. All right, so we got the threads cleaned out on these things, and so now we'll try this again. Put this back on here. All right, so this is flat, handle slides. Now I should be able to tighten this thing down, and the handle doesn't slide anymore. So that is a vast upgrade, vast improvement from what it was when we got it. Because before it was all sloppy and this thing was like barely on there. But now we've got something that works as intended, which is how I like things to work. All right, so I want to go ahead and take this guy out. This goes all the way up into, you can see over here on this one, it goes up all the way back into this guy, and that's the adjustment on this roller up here. So as you turn this guy, you can make the roller move up there, and that helps to set the tension in terms of how much roll you're doing, how tight of a circle, how thick the metal you're working with is, all that sort of stuff. So I'm just going to take this out. Luckily this is not stuck in there. And then I'll clean the threads off a little bit with a wire brush, because they're really not bad. And then of course I'm going to throw some grease on there, and then I'll stick it back up in there. You can see it's moving the roller now. All right, so up on top on the roller section here, we've got 3 rollers. There's this one, and then we got this one down here that I took out. This one right here is like stationary. This does not move. This guy here can adjust with those ones in the back, the adjustment guys in the back here, to increase or decrease the gap between these 2 guys here. And that you can adjust on both sides. And then you can see this little section here and this little bolt that comes out. This thing is just a little sort of gate for the other roller. So when it's in like this, the roller can come out. And when it's out like that, the roller is stuck in there. Put the roller back in. This guy goes in like that. And then the other end just goes in like that. And we close the gate. Now it's locked in there. All right, so let's celebrate the semi-restoration of our little machine here, our 3-in-1, by cutting, rolling, and breaking some metal. I'm gonna put on some gloves because the metal I've got is kind of sharp on the edges. So this machine is just 3-in-1. It's supposed to work on up to 1 millimeter thickness. This guy here. So this is like 18 gauge. That's about as thick as this thing can do. Let's see if we can cut this stuff. Let's see what happens. Okay, fail. Maybe I have to adjust this thing better. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and try and adjust this thing in a little bit. All right, to adjust this slide, this table here, there's this big screw on the bottom. Loosen this guy up here, and then I should be able to screw this right up against that thing. All right, so the table's done, and then on the back side of this, there's these little sort of retaining screws, which clearly have a purpose. All right, so if you come back here, You can see this little retaining screw thing right there. It would appear that the key to making this thing work is that you tighten this guy down here and that guy back there so they sort of like jam together, and that keeps that thing like a solid rod basically. So, and then this thing is sort of set where it can be loose enough to slide, but this thing isn't going to change adjustment on you. I think that's how it's supposed to work. All right, I've got it adjusted, I think the best you can get it. So let's see if we can actually snip something this time. No, it just bends it. Let's try and break it, right? Let's do that. So this guy going here. Let's see. Well, that seems to work well. And it'd be really nice to be able to cut this off right now, huh? I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have to take this apart, take these blades off, sharpen them up a bit. Anyways, let's see how this thing rolls. So, we stick this in here. Oh yeah, look at that. Look at that. Adjust my handle. Oh, it's going through, it's going through. Look at that. Oh wow. May have created a problem for myself. Look at that, man. Sweet. That is pretty nice. All right, the other bit I really like about this thing is right here. See these little grooves here? Those grooves are for like 1/4 inch, I think 1/8 inch and 1/16 inch, like solid rod, which I have a small little piece of 1/4 inch right here. I'm gonna try and roll this, see what happens. So in theory, you'll need to make like little hoops and stuff. Like here you go, man, here you go. So never used one of these before, so this is kind of neat and all new to me. Now it's rolling up the other guy. I'm back. Up and back. All right, so now in theory, we can adjust that up a little bit and then do it again. Just put more of a bend into it and keep adjusting this. That should bend it more and more. Anyway, you start to kind of get the idea. That could take a while, but it does bend it. The more I can adjust this thing, and the longer, if it had a longer piece, this would be a lot better demonstration, honestly. So anyways, that's it. That is my little 3-in-1 brake press shear thus far. Everything works on it except for this little, the shear part. So, which would probably be neat to have, just convenient to just smack that down and cut stuff. So we'll work on that. I'll look stuff up to see what mistakes I'm making, because I know there are something. I'm making some mistakes somewhere. So thanks for watching, everybody. I hope you enjoy these little tool things. We're on this mission at the moment to like tool up the shop here so that we can do some cool stuff. We are looking for bikes still. So we've been looking at a few of them, and man, it just seems like everyone just wants to pay too much money for these things. And that's my problem at the moment, because I need something that is sort of at the bottom of the market, or even below the bottom of the market, so that I can take that thing that really nobody cares about and make it into something cool. It's kind of like this little 3-in-1. Nobody cared about this thing. I got this for like $100, this thing. They normally sell for like over $400 brand new. Anyways, thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.